Welcome to the show, folks. Took a little while to get this all together. So welcome to the show, folks. I got something on my nose itching me. All right. So what we're going to do today is talk about an amazing, enormous Mayan city that was recently discovered, previously unidentified. It is so significant and so broad-based. It is mind-boggling. And we have the paper and all the LiDAR imagery to blow your mind. So buckle up. This is going to be a great show. Thank you for all tuning in. This is a live show, so we will be able to comment after I do a little bit of commentary here. Welcome to the show, Dan. Static runs with scissors. Dawn is in the house. Jax, Victor Debs, Jackie Teagar, Pete Yeager, Misfits, and Miss Dragon. So let's dive into the show. Let me share my screen, and I'm working on some. Well, just bear with me here. So let's see what happens when I push the wrong button. So now I have like a 10-second delay to see what actually comes up here on the screen. Okay, excellent. It's working. So this is the article that came out. Enormous Maya civilization discovered, complete with roads, reservoirs, and Ballcourts. It's literally mind-blowing. You can hardly wrap. Well, it's just, wait till I get on with the description, and then we look at all the LiDAR images, and I guarantee you, your mind will be blown. A previously unidentified Maya civilization made up of 964 interconnected settlements. These are not buildings. These are 964 interconnected settlements. And what you're looking at here, this LiDAR image, is just one of them. So there are 963 other settlements like this. So it's staggering. These were all discovered in northern Guatemala. They are dated to the pre-classical Maya period, which lasted from around 1000 BC to just 150 AD, or the end of the Roman Empire, let's say. The scattered sites cover an area of 1,685 square kilometers. That's 650 square miles. And they're linked by over 177 kilometers of ancient roads, which translates to 110 linear miles of roads connecting these 964 settlements. Now, researchers spotted the network of settlements using LiDAR, a detection system that bounces laser signals off surfaces in order to reveal hidden features. And in fact, LiDAR is light detection and ranging. It's a remote sensing method used to estimate or examine the surface of the Earth. And the instrument principally consists of a laser, a scanner, and a specialized GPS receiver. And then you get some amazing pictures. Now, while flying over Guatemala's Mirador Calkmul Karst Basin, which we're going to refer to as the MCKB, the LiDAR team utilized the technology in order to penetrate the thick jungle canopy and expose the ancient constructions lurking beneath. And to their surprise, they revealed an extraordinary density and distribution of Maya sites concentrated in an MCKB. Many of them linked directly or indirectly to vast causeway networks, according to the researchers in this study. In total, they found 775 sites, which we're going to look at, so don't go away. We have these images, and it's like what you're looking at here times 1,000. It's mind-blowing. So they found 775 sites within the MCKB itself, with a further 189 sites located in the surrounding karstic ridge. Now, these 964 villages are grouped into 417 cities. Is your mind blown yet? Towns and villages, all of which appear to have formed part of a single unified civilization interconnected by roads, canals, and other amazing things. Completely, this blows the lid off Mayan archaeology. And I'm sure many of you haven't even heard of it. So these 417 cities, towns, and villages appear to have formed in a single unified civilization, suggesting centralized political, social, and economic organic solidarity among the occupants. Now, previously, archaeologists had assumed that this low-lying corner of the Mayan Empire was sparsely populated. Yet, the complexity of the newly discovered site suggests, well, otherwise. The magnitude of the labor and the constructions of these massive platforms, which you can clearly see here, which stick up out of the jungle floor. These are platforms on platforms before they even build the pyramids on pyramids. To build such a civilization would have required highly skilled lime producers, mortar and quarry specialists, lithic technicians, architects, logistics, agricultural procurements and specialists, legal enforcement, religious officials, all operating under a political and ideological homogeneity, the authors explain. Now, among the many architectural surprises present in the region, the researchers single out the astonishing network of causeways as one of the crowning achievements of the ancient Maya overall. The team identified 133 kilometers of roads linking different settlements, with a further 38 kilometers of intrasite causeways. Now, the existence of these transport links, they said, would have allowed people to visit other settlements easily while facilitating collective labor efforts. The large platforms and pyramids were identified within some units, suggesting they may have served as political hubs, while a total of 30 Ballcourts were found scattered through the system. This is an entire civilization with hundreds of cities just discovered. Now, this region has no year-round rivers or lakes, and the existence of such a large population would have required extensive water collection projects, which we are going to show you. Some of the first gigantic reservoirs and causeways ever discovered. And according to the researchers, they found 195 artificial reservoirs, as well as a network of canals for transporting water around the region. Is everyone's mind blown at this point? Let me go check. I'm just going to check the messages here. Yeah. Okay. So this, your mind isn't even blown, Gene. We're about to get to the paper. Here's the paper. LiDAR analysis in the contiguous Mirador Calkmol karst basin in Guatemala. An introduction to new perspectives on regional early Maya socioeconomic and political organization. Yeah, a complete reworking of it in ways, well, that are unimaginable. So we went over the basics of everything that happened. You're going to be linked below with this paper, which appears to be quite extensive. And we're just going to go figure to figure because I did read the paper, and I'm going to explain to you what we're looking at and what it all means. It may take a while for this to parse up. I don't even know if it may work. Still spinning, as you can see here. Yep, it may take a while here. And if not, what we can do is just look at the smaller pictures. So let's just take a look at this one. This is the drainage map of this region that is referred to as the MCKB. And the LiDAR imaging took place down here. I'm just going to outline it in this region. So they just imaged this region of Guatemala, and that is the region in question. So this area I'm outlining up here is then this maroon and blue area down here. Let's see if it'll blow up for us. Doesn't seem to like popping that out there, does it? All right, well, we can blow this up a little bit more. Let's just bring it in a little bit more. There we go. I don't think that's making the picture any bigger. Bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing this live. 170 people in the house. Thank you all for joining us. So this is the region in question. Take a look at all these triangles. Every one of those triangles, or those black triangles, is a site. And if there's a black square, there's a village. I could just do that. Yeah. So here we are, the legend in this region. These are the major cities is El Mirador. We have minor cities, Tintal, Nakabi, Balnal. And then we have the white cities, then the green cities, and then the villages are all in the black. These are all populated areas connected by road systems. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. And here, let's take a look at this. This is monumental architecture map of the southern area with Ballcourts, E groups, and triadic complexes, pyramids. Look at this network of towns and cities. And then they go on to estimate the estimated densities of population in the regions. And they do have some dating here, which is kind of interesting. They've dated some wood and some other things in the region. And now we're going to get to the good stuff. Okay, this is the section that they LiDAR'd, and we're looking at just a tiny portion of it here. So down here is the blow up of just this tiny portion of the city of El Mirador, one of hundreds of cities they found in this jungle. And so if you're looking here, holy macaroni, look at all the pyramids everywhere. There's one right there. There's one there. There's one there. But we're not even in the city where there is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a dozen or more pyramids just here. And the entire region is littered. Take a look at this major pyramid complex, La Danta, up on this giant platform with a pyramid on the platform. Other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 or 8 other pyramids around a major city complex with other structures and a lake. And then the great central Acropolis and El Tigre and Leon. Look at all of these pyramids, all built on raised up platforms. It would have taken, they say, tens of thousands of people. This would need to be hundreds of thousands of people working for decades and decades, all covered in jungle. Can you imagine the types of antiquities that are waiting to be discovered in these jungles? Now we'll just come down here. Look at all of these structures out in the jungle. They're everywhere they looked. Here's another city. Oh, we can't do it that way. Oh, we did it that way. Wow. Here's another city, Hennequin. And if you just start to look out here, all of these all of these things are structures. All of the holes and the circles and the squares. They're all homes and villages and structures that are probably associated with like farms. They are literally everywhere with these major pyramid complexes. This is crazy. This is beyond crazy. Take a look at this pyramid complex. We're not ever going to be showing you the same region in this jungle. All of these are different regions. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 or 11 more pyramids here, surrounded by structures everywhere in the jungle. Mind-blowing. Okay, so we're at just figure 8. There's a lot of figures in this paper. And hopefully they'll load up for us. Okay, no, they won't. So let's come down here to LiDAR image number 9. Another one of the tier 3 sites. This is not the biggest city. This is the third lesser version of city. And if you can see out here, just the amount of structures in the jungle that are away from the main complex is mind-boggling. Look at this pyramid. This is like a quarter-mile long pyramidal hill. There's a ball court in here. other structures and pyramids. Here's one, a pyramid on a platform. And then again, look at all of the structures covered in the jungle, as far as the eye can see in every direction. Another pyramid on it, another pyramid on it, another pyramid, another. Just figure 9. Figure 10. This is El Hospital area. We could go on for days on this. More pyramid complexes, more structures as far as the eye can see. It would literally take thousands of archaeologists, hundreds of years, just to record what they just found in this one study. It boggles the literal mind. And here we can clearly see here they were using the natural landscape to create their own platforms. 221 in the house. Thank you all for joining us. Jerome, A1, Gene Purvis, Jax, Rusty, Coke Machine, Joey Bodeker, Professor Bauer, Tammy Ratfield, Deb Sloan. And so it is our supposition now, what we've been thinking, is that there was a direct connection between the Mayan culture because of its time period and the unexplained natives that were the mound builders up in Cahokia, very clearly. Because if you look at the Ohio national treasure, the Ohio Pipestone Pipe, it is categorically 100% Mayan. And now we're seeing very similar type platforms out here in the jungle of Guatemala, which is very similar to the platforms and pyramid structures in Cahokia. And this is just a cursory review of some of that information, but let's just come look at this image where we can clearly see Cahokia type platforms. They're not made of stone. They're probably made of soil, just like in Cahokia with other platforms on top. So there's a direct relationship to the native peoples of all of North, Central, and South America. And just based on the size of these hundreds of cities in this region of Guatemala where they didn't think that there were any structures, well, first of all, embarrasses the archaeologists, especially the ones studying the Maya. And everything that they've written up to this point is complete garbage because it's not true. The Mayan civilization was 100 times larger than any archaeologist ever suggested, 1,000 times more sophisticated and broad-ranging. They dug their own canals, reservoirs, and roads thousands of years ago that are now consumed by the jungle. Fantastical. And just look at all of the structures. It's mind-boggling. Infinite amount of archaeological work out here. No one has any idea what is going on in the jungle, except that there are thousands of temples and other structures that are covered in probably dangerous jungle with poisonous animals, impossible to get to regions. So let's go over some of the amazing discoveries, including a giant causeway. I keep pushing the wrong button here. So look at this striking causeway. And you could see here there's retaining walls built in different stages. This region is very marshy. So it would take a lot to install a road or a canal. And let's take a look at this LiDAR image. This is one of the regions called Balnal. 6 insets represent terrain elevation with the lowest elevation in blue. more causeways. Look at this tunnel. They've got canals, all kind of, some of them so deeply weathered that clearly, look at these, more canals. In an area with no rivers or lakes, you would have to have reservoirs and canals, lots of them. In fact, they found hundreds to support these millions of people. Look at the size of this reservoir. And then the causeway. They didn't have excavators. This is being dug by hand. And the same exact phenomenon is happening up in Ohio, in Michigan, where the Cahokia mound builders at the same exact time are building giant pyramidal mounds. Pyramidal even. And these are all the same culture at the same time doing the same thing, which means they're the same people. They got the memo. Mind-blowing. And then the fact that there are over 30 Ballcourts. Now, some of the archaeology that's associated with these Ballcourts is amazing. The ancient Maya may have turned their dead rulers into balls for a popular game. And the game is pelota. It's still being played by some indigenous communities today. The ancient Maya may have devised a unique solution to the age-old problem of what to do with your ancient rulers when they die. According to some archaeologists, they turned them into a ball and played a game called pelota. Considered one of the world's oldest team sports, pelota is still played by indigenous communities in parts of Central America. Although the use of balls made by the remains of politicians is one tradition that has not stood the test of time, thankfully. But evidence for this strange supporting custom has been presented by archaeologist Juan Yadun Angul of Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History. And while excavating the Tonilla temple complex in southern Mexico, his colleagues uncovered 400 urns containing the mixture of human ashes, rubber, coal, and plant roots. And after cross-referencing this finding with written accounts about the Mayan site, it appears that the cremated remains were used to manufacture rubber balls used in the ritual game of pelota. In a gigantic city consisting of hundreds of major outliers, mind-blowing. Can't do that. Okay, we can do that. Literally. El Mirador alone, just one of the cities that we're looking at right here, potentially housed thousands upon thousands of people. There are over 12 pyramids alone on elevated platforms. These elevated platforms, just discovered. We're going to do some research. I have the original 1800s documents of all of the ancient mounds and platforms that are in that region of north central U.S., Ohio, and Michigan, and all that area. We're going to be uncovering some of those details, and we're going to be cross-referencing it here with this LiDAR images to maybe make some direct connections between the Maya and the lost civilization, the giants, the mound builders of Cahokia. Whew, absolutely mind-blowing. So, quite a presentation. Just one paper. And let me just bring up more window here. So we got these massive cities, almost 1,000 cities in the middle of the Guatemalan jungle. Not enough archaeologists in the world to go around to go study this. But because of the LiDAR and because of layman scientists or alternative scientists like myself, we could take this to the next level, just like we suggested here. You don't need LiDAR in Cahokia because the region is not covered in jungle. Plus, there is a team of surveyors that went out there in the late 1800s and surveyed all the mounds. And we have some of the rare books that have all of that information in it, John. So it won't be very hard for us to make any connections if we need to. And I think that as time progresses, the Maya, which is the illusion, is becoming ever so clear here as new things are being discovered with new technologies. That the Mayan culture that flourished from 1000 BC to 100 AD in Guatemala are flourishing at the same exact time as the Adena and the Fort Ancient, which are probably directly related to the Mayan. And that's a boon to knowledge, literally. Any questions? Yes, yes, we've been in the credits of See the Pattern. We've been associate producers of some of the Thunderbolts work as well. Okay, cool. So stay tuned for more information on this amazing breakthrough on 100 cities just discovered in Guatemala, all Mayan, all raised platforms, hundreds, if not thousands of pyramids that need to be uncovered, and just the amount of archaeology that was discovered using this laser technology, mind-blowing. We love each and every one of you. Please share this video with like-minded people and blow their mind. And be safe. We love you. That's a boo.